that we see in this parasha. We see in this parasha, we have the parashat Aman. What's parashat Aman? Parashat Aman is the whole procedure, the whole parasha of how HaKadosh Baruch Hu kept Bnei Israel alive 40 years in the desert, solely from the food that he brought down Mishamayim, which we call it Aman, and like what Rabbi Doron said, every day. The Gemara in Masechet Yoma, page Ayin Vav, asks a question. The students of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai came to Rabbi Shimon and asked Rabbi Shimon, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu needed to keep Bnei Israel alive because there was no other food in the desert that they could buy or they can grow, why did he give them the food every single day? Why did he have to bring a miracle down every single day of the year in order to keep Bnei Israel fed and alive in the desert? Why couldn't HaKadosh Baruch Hu once a year, Rosh Hashanah, drop a big amount of man, in the same way that HaKadosh Baruch Hu does a miracle that if a person takes too much, it rots. If he takes for 2 days, it will rot. And the same thing, HaKadosh Baruch Hu made a miracle that on Shabbat it didn't rot. So once a year, a person collects for the entire year. That's it. One miracle in a year. Why do you need 365 miracles every single day of the year in order for Bnei Israel to be kept alive? Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai answered him with an analogy. And Rabbi Shimon said, with this analogy, you'll be able to understand, and also we can learn a big lesson from this. Rabbi Shimon said, one time there was a king that he loved his son. He had mamash, a deep love for his son. So what did he do? He said, I'm not going to let my son have to work hard, to come every day, to come once a week, to pick up his salary to live. I'm going to give him a big sum of money in the beginning of the year. Like that, he has no stress for the whole year. So this king came and he gave the prince a big amount of money that will last him the entire year. The king didn't see his son the entire year. Only exactly 1 year later, when his money finished, he returned back to the king and he said, Abba, I love you, I need this year's salary. After a couple of years, the king realized that his son only comes once a year to visit him, once a year to see him. He sees him once a year. He stopped giving him once a year and he started to give him, you want your salary, you have to come every day for the money that you need for that day. The Gemara says that the king afterwards found himself that every single day his son came to visit him. That, Rabotai, is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is doing to Bnei Israel in the desert. Instead of giving Bnei Israel food for a week, for a year, for a month, HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends down the food, sends down the miracle every single day in order for Bnei Israel to come every single day forward and to have the full emunah that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one that brings down the food. Bnei Israel could not even for one day think about their emunah weakening, because if tomorrow HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not bring down a miracle, what happens? They die. There's no food. And that, Rabotai, is the lesson of the whole parasha of Aman. It's recognizing that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one that brings the parnasah. Sometimes when a person he goes through hard times, we also have to accept HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one that brings down the parnasah. Maybe there's something that we have to fix. Maybe there's something that we have to change in order to fix the situation that we're in. The beautiful story that reminds me of this lesson from this Gemara of my great-grandfather, Rabbi Chaim Pinto. It was told about Rabbi Chaim Pinto that every single day, he would wake up in the morning and he would have a big sack, a big bag. And we know Rabbi Chaim Pinto was very, very wealthy. He owned the whole Melach in Morocco. It was all his. And every morning he would take his bag and he would go to the shuk and he would hold his bag and people would get brachot and they would fill up the bag with money. And by the night time, the bag would be full. He would take that bag and he would make sure that after he collects all that money, it gets distributed throughout the entire Morocco, all the poor, all the people that need parnasah in Morocco who had something to eat, because of Rabbi Chaim Pinto. Rabbi Chaim Pinto was known that every single evening he would take that bag after he gave out all the money that he collected throughout the day and he would wash it. And he would make sure that it's completely empty. Every single night he would wash the bag and not leave even a dollar, a penny for himself for the next day. It was told that one time he went to bed and he couldn't sleep. And he was turning in his bed and he couldn't. Every single time he tried to fall asleep, he did Shema again. Nothing was working. He went to his wife and he asked his wife, and he would call money the Satan. He asked, he said, did you leave the Satan in the house tonight? So his wife looked at him and said, I was planning on making for you lunch, meatballs. And I knew that by the time you're going to bring me money to buy meatballs, it's going to be late. So I kept a couple of dollars in order that I can go tomorrow in the morning and buy meat. Rabbi Chaim Pinto said, we're not going to sleep until this Satan leaves the house. And right away they took that money that she kept and he sent it out. Rabotai, what is that? That, Rabotai, is the concept of the emunah. It's the emunah that it doesn't matter what the situation, what the person has at that moment. If we have a full emunah that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one that brings down the parnasah, then even if a person tomorrow, he has just enough for today, it is perfect. Because you have enough for today. Tomorrow HaKadosh Baruch Hu will bring you more. The fact that you don't have now enough for 20 years to come, that's not that's emunah. You're going to come to HaKadosh Baruch Hu only when you have enough for a year, then you come to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's emunah. Emunah, Rabotai, is simple. You have enough for today. You have to have full faith that tomorrow HaKadosh Baruch Hu will bring the bracha. That tomorrow HaKadosh Baruch Hu will bring down the parnasah. And only, Rabotai, with that way of thinking, with that attitude, we can really receive real bracha from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because we shouldn't wait to the time that we really need the bracha to come to lekabel panav shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We don't have to wait until the time that a person is really find himself in a stuck situation, then he turns to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to ask for bracha. We should do it now, Rabotai. When everything is good, we have bracha and everything is perfect, now it's time to go to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and to be that son of the king that comes to him every day, even though he doesn't need it. Not like the story that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai brought. Not like the son that only when he needs he comes. We should come, we need it or we don't need it. We have to come forward to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and strengthen our emunah. We all merit a true and pure emunah. Amen.
Amen. Hazak u'baruch.